Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So I want to apologize for not having uploaded in almost a month and a half, and there's literally no excuse other than the fact that I just didn't want to. I've been playing I guess the reason I hadn't want to is mostly because of Fortnite. Chapter 2 Season 4 has been, well, it was extremely fun. It's now ended. It ended like near the beginning of December, and I kind of just been putting this off. But it was extremely fun. I loved the Marvel season. I played a crap ton of it. I think I got to like level 203. Like, I played a crap ton of that season, and I really didn't give DBD the time of day that I usually give it. Season 5 for that chapter 2 is now out, so I don't plan on playing a lot of Fortnite as much. I want to get back into DBD. I'm having a lot of fun with it, except for my internet. My internet is being extremely bad. Like, the past 2 weeks, I've had a near constant, I'm gonna say like a near constant 120-ish ping, with it spiking near the 300s and occasionally lowering near the 60s. The game that you're watching right now, I recorded like 5 minutes ago, and I got extremely lucky to where my ping really was not that bad this entire game, and I'm really thankful for that. But if you read the title, you know what this video is about, and it is going to be another discussion video on keys. But again, sorry for taking so long to get this video out, and the main reason I'm doing it is because Mori's finally got nerfed. I don't know if y'all have heard about it, seen it, whatever, but Ivory and Ebony Moris, you don't have to hook that survivor twice before they can be moried. So tunneling off a first hook, you really can't do that. Some scummy killers are still gonna tunnel. Like, they're gonna put you on the hook, they're gonna camp, you're gonna get unhooked. If the unhooker doesn't have BT, you're gonna get slapped back down. If you don't have DS, you're just gonna be hooked again, and then they're gonna have to save you yet again, and then he's gonna more you. So again, no matter what you do, you could be camped and tunneled. But at the same time, with it being that second hook, you wouldn't even need an Ebony Mori, because by the time you slap them back down after the second hook, you could just put them back on the hook and them die. So really, just run an Ebony Mori or an Ivory Mori if you really feel like running it. Like, Ivory Moris and Ebonies are kind of like rewards, you get to see it. They were abusable, but now they're more towards the reward side. But without anything else to say, let's go ahead and get into the discussion. So, to start it off, keys are an item that survivors can use, and there are 3 rarities for it. You have rare, very rare, and ultra rare. So the rare is the broken key. It only has 10 seconds of use, and if you don't have any add-ons attached to it, it is quite literally useless. Like, you physically cannot use it. The second one, which is the very rare one, is the dull key, and this has 5 seconds of use, but it can be consumed to open a black lock, and I'll talk about that in a second. The third and final one, which is an ultra rare, and keep in mind there are only 2 items in the game for survivors that are ultra rare, this key and a rainbow map, but the skeleton key has 30 seconds of use and can also be consumed to open black locks. So the main takeaway here is that the ultra rare and the very rare can be consumed to open black locks. The green key really is not overpowered. You can put add-ons on it and it can be decent. I don't really use them. I find them to be rather useless. That's just me. If I'm using a key, I'm using it to open black locks, but hey, that's me. And now it's time to discuss the black lock. So a black lock, there's only one black lock in the game, and that is the lock on the hatch. If you have a key, a very rare or an ultra rare, it doesn't even matter if you have add-ons or not, and you go up to the hatch like it is spawned, you can then open it by pressing R1 and just escape the trial like that. If there's 3 people left in the trial and you only have to do 1 generator, let's just say the killer, everybody is dead on hook. Next time they get hooked, they're dead. All 3 of you are healthy. You're in a survivor friends. One of y'all brought a key. You all go looking for the hatch. Hey, one of y'all found it. Y'all then meet up. The killer is still patrolling those 3 gens. They're all at 0. He's wondering, what are y'all doing? You know, like, what are the survivors doing? They're not on any gens. Well, next thing you know, oh, the hatch is open. Somebody just escaped it. Oh my god, another survivor just escaped it. Oh, and there goes the 3rd one. Nothing he could have done about it. You can't even camp hatch anymore, because if they open it, yes, you can close it and prevent the other 2 from getting it. But then if you're camping hatch, well, the other survivors can just go into a generator. It's either patrol the generators or camp the hatch. And you have to patrol the generators, because then the person that has the key could be like faking doing the hatch, you know, like constantly running to the hatch and then running backwards to distract the killer, and then the other 2 could be on a generator. There's so many different combinations. It's just the fact that keys are completely uncounterable, and this is why a lot of people have compared them to the former Moris. Before they were nerfed, you know, all you had to do was be hooked once, and then you could immediately be Mori'd, and there was nothing you could do about it. Literally nothing, and that's the problem with the keys, is that there's nothing the killer can do. It's so unfair. Like, what happens if this killer, like, let's just say, again, he's got everybody dead on hook. Let's just say it is a Huntress. They're hitting really good hatchets. They now are patrolling the generators all at 0%, which easily could have been a 4K or a 3K with maybe 1 getting out through the exit gate or hatch after she's closed it. Now it turns into just a singular kill game, sorry, because the survivors had a key. How is that fair? It's not. I mean, you literally, if you have the ultra rare or the very rare, you walk up to it, you press R1, not 1. You press R1, you then go straight through the hatch, and there's not a single thing they can do about it. And I don't know what to tell you other than there's nothing you can do against it. Like, that is the main thing. You cannot do anything against keys. And I'm now going to talk about the other aspects of it, the add-on side. I've been really talking about the Black Lock, and that's the only part that's overpowered. The rest of the keys are completely fine. They're quite good, even outside of that. And the main uses are the following. So there's a couple add-ons for the key. There are no ultra-rare add-ons for the key, but there are a couple very rare. One of which is the mother-daughter ring? No, that's a spirit add-on. I can't remember what it's called. It's some ring. It makes it to where you have decreased chances of being the obsession, and when using the key, you can see the obsession's aura at all time. It's only the obsession, and so it doesn't end up being that good, in my opinion. I prefer the tokens, but we'll get to that in a second. The second one is blood amber, and it makes it to where whenever the killer is within 48 meters of yourself, I'm pretty sure it's 48, I'm not exactly sure on the meters, but whenever you're within so many distance, I think it's 48, you see the killer's aura at a great expense of the key. So instead of it being, you know, you use the key for 1 second and it takes away 1 second of durability, Jesus. I'm thinking of different games, but instead of using that 1% of the key's remaining charges, well, it'll use more, maybe 1.5 or up to 2. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is it says greatly, and greatly is pretty large in this game. We use slightly, moderately, and tremendously, and I'd say greatly falls in between tremendously and moderately. So take that as you will. The other ones aren't as important. There's one which is a green and a yellow, and the yellow one's 24 meters and the green one's 36, and it makes it to where whenever survivors are within 24 or 36 meters of you when using the key, you can see their R. So it's pretty good. It's like having a pocket bond. You wouldn't have to use bond if you brought this key. And I've also got 2 very rare add-ons that I haven't mentioned yet. I'm saving that for the end. There's also ones that add seconds to the key. There's one that adds 5 seconds and another that adds 10 seconds. And I think that's about it. There's a couple more, but they really don't matter. Like, those are the only add-ons you're going to be using. And then there are the next 2, which are the most important, and that is the weaved ring and then the milky glass, I think that's what it's called. Anyways, what this does is the milky glass makes it to where when opening black locks, which means when opening the hatch, this add-on is consumed and you do not lose the key. The weave ring makes it to where if you die with this key, instead of losing the key, you lose this add-on, which is, well, you can see how these things would go hand in hand. It used to be if you died, you only lost, you'd only lose one of them. Well, okay, with these two add-ons, basically you'll never lose the key. That's the thing. If you run this on a very rare key or an ultra rare, preferably very rare, but if you run these two add-ons on a very rare or an ultra rare, no matter what you do with that key, whether you escape through the hatch, escape through the exit gate, or just die by Mori, sacrifice, any type of that key will remain in your inventory no matter what you do. And that's the biggest problem, is that if you have these add-ons, you can have infinite keys. So you get, let's just say you have 3 keys in your inventory and you have like 5 of each add-ons. Well, guess what? That might as well be 8 keys, because you're going to be able to use those keys 8 times. And that's also a huge problem with keys. With keys being so overpowered with black locks, you then have those types of add-ons that you can put on them instead of using the others, and then you have a big problem. And that's the main problem here, is those add-ons and the fact that they can be opened up on the hatch. And that's really what I'm trying to talk about. Sorry if this video isn't really that structured. I'm really just trying to get a video out for you guys. But with that out the way, I really want to talk about some changes for the keys. And the first one is not really necessarily a big nerf, but if they want keys to remain functioning with the hatch, what they could do is make keys single-use items. And what I mean by this is, I told you how if one person brought a key, they could open it and everybody else could also escape. Like, let's just say all gens are done, the killer's going back and forth between the exit gates, and he's going back and forth between the exit gates. And what's that? Oh yeah, they're not at the exit gates. One of them had a key, so now all 4 of them have escaped through the hatch, and again, completely uncounterable. Or like back to the one where they only have to do 1 generator. There's only 1 generator left, 1 of them's dead, and then 3 escape through the hatch. So an easy nerf that would still, they'd keep them relatively overpowered, but it would nerf them to some degree, is to make keys single-use items. Now, if there's a problem with that, meaning that every survivor can now start running keys, you know, where you could have a survivor friends and you're like, hey, I found the hatch, and then everybody wrote a key, so they all run to the hatch and then they all use their keys to escape. You're using 4 times the amount of keys, but you're still using the key and it's still being overpowered. So in that sense, I'd say it's still overpowered, and that's why it's only a minor nerf. It's not a big one. The biggest one is simply just to remove its function as as opening the hatch. I mean, it's that simple. Opening the hatch early is so unfair. It's like a survivor's main goal is to do generators, but if you have a key and the hatch is spawned, well, there's no point in doing the generators. Just run and go look for the hatch. I mean, and again, there's nothing the killer can do. He can intercept you and try and keep you away and chase you and all this kind of crap, but at the end of the day, there's nothing the killer can do. And so my main thing is to just remove that function, make it to where it cannot open black locks, and then adjust the values. The broken key would only have 5 seconds, the dull key would get 10 seconds, and the skeleton key could stay at 30 seconds. I really don't know if there's any other way to nerf it, because again, keys with like blood amber and the gold token and the obsession ring, I'm just gonna call it the obsession ring, I don't know what it is, the keys are still good in that scenario, but using it to open the hatch is extremely unfair. And that's the whole point of this video, is talking about why they're unfair and how they need to be balanced. So to conclude, keys are overpowered because they have no counter. I mean, you as a killer, you cannot do anything against them. A good way to balance them is to simply make it to where keys are single-use items on the hatch if they want to keep that function in there, or make it to where keys just cannot be used on hatch. Remove the black lock feature and then switch some values. Like I'd switch the dull key and the broken key values. That is exactly what I'd do. I think that it would become pretty good. I mean, keys would still be used. I know a lot of people use skeleton keys with blood amber and then something to also make the key last longer, like the 10-second one, so that they can use that key in a chase to watch and see if the killer does any mind games, and it's pretty effective. It's really effective, actually. So keys would not just become obsolete, but hey, that's my opinion. This is all my opinion, and that's gonna wrap up the video. I've kind of delayed this. It's now going on 15 minutes right now that I'm looking at it, and I'm sorry for that. I kind of rambled. This is literally the first time I've created a video in a month and a half, so a little rusty. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, and hit the sub button because I'm back, baby. Yes, sir, I am back. And without anything else to say, I'll talk to you all in another video. Goodbye.